We are here in Your House Sports for episode 2 at Rogue Media Network. I'm Manny D.
Your boy Vasos.
Fat Sam's not here today. He is out there negotiating to see if Wemby Mania can take place possibly pretty soon at the Alamo Dome.
Yeah, he was also heading up the Canelo-Charlo fight.
Yeah.
Some negotiations there.
Trying to be the Dana White.
Yeah, he was trying to staying between them. He also was having to keep Oscar De La Hoya out of the building as well.
It's like, it's not wintertime.
Deal, go over there. Go over there, Deal.
Just go over there. Clean your nose while you're at it.
Cokehead.
Yeah. But, yeah, we're glad to be back again for our monthly sessions. Summertime, kind of I want to say a dead period in sports, but for us rabid football fans, it's kind of a dead period.
It's especially that dead period because training camp hasn't started. Mini camp it's just mini camp, and nobody really wants to go.
OTAs, mini camp, all that stuff.
Nobody really wants to go to those, but
what makes me laugh is like it's voluntarily OTA. It's a volunteer. So and so didn't show up. Maybe it's just a volunteer.
Yeah,
he's gonna show up. Like seriously, but yeah, July will start wrapping up. Training camp. Hard Knocks, all this other stuff starts popping up. That's when we start getting excited. Everything keeps going. But
we're like a month and a half away from all that. So it's like in the meantime and then the NBA just finished up.
Yeah,
hockey finished up. All we got is baseball, and MLB makes it impossible to watch, a game that's not on ESPN or Fox.
Right.
So it's like, what do you do?
What's that? Bally Sports.
Bally Sports. They declared for bankruptcy.
Right.
And still going to pay out what they owe to the Rangers and the Stars and the Mavericks. And I think the Spurs are on Bally, I think.
Yeah.
They got to pay out all that money they owe. So it's like.
Yeah, I know. We go on a tangent about that because it's ridiculous. But anyway. But yeah, follow us In Your House Sports on Facebook, our YouTube page, In Your House Sports. Subscribe, like, comment, share, do all that good stuff. We don't care. We only have 14 subscribers. So our goal by the end of June is to have 15. That's it. It's not too hard.
I was going to say 20 by the end of the summer, but hey,
Realistic goals.
Yeah.
Realistic goals. Hey, before we start the show, though, I want to shout out Gabriel Resendez, August 26th, having a boxing fight. Comeback King, Waco, Texas, representing. Something that we do want to do future on this show is spotlight local athletes like that. Because, man, it's a big deal when you have, Waco, Texas has a lot of talent in the world of sports. Basketball, especially basketball, football, and you got boxing now, stuff like that, MMA. So shout out Gabriel Resendez, Comeback King, August 26th, going to be fighting. I'm going to have the link to where you can stream the fight on the comment section on the video. So, yeah, for sure, check that out. But, yeah, what we're here to talk about today, too, is the NBA draft results. You and I and Fat Sam, we don't watch the NBA regularly. We don't do that. So we're going to talk about that, talk about Netflix documentary, Florida Gators, Swamp Stories, I believe it's called.
Swamp Kings.
Swamp Kings.
That's what it's called, Swamp Kings. You got Tiger King and you got Swamp King.
And then we're going to talk about the Texas Rangers, Hopefully we don't jinx them. So if they go on a losing streak after this, they're right, 45-28 now, right? Is the record?
I think so, yeah. We're like 5 games in first place right now in the division.
So if they go on the losing streak, don't blame us. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, knock on wood. That's what we're going to do. But, yeah, talk about the NBA draft. Like I said, we don't talk about the draft as much over the NBA as much as, a lot of people do because, hey, we're going to be honest. We don't watch it. We're not going to be standing here or sitting here telling you X, Y, and Z and don't know nothing about it. But I did see that the NBA draft ratings were significantly higher than it has been in like maybe 5 to 10 years. So there's some hype behind Victor Wemby. I'm not going to botch his name.
Yeah. Victor. Just call him Victor.
Yeah, Wemby. I'm just calling Wemby Mania. But, yeah, there's some hype behind the kid.
I mean, I don't know how much that hype is after he showed up in that session and missed every single shot.
Think about it, though, man. It's kind of awkward because I was watching that, and he comes out, and people clap. But it's kind of awkward, man. You got, just cameras around you, and you're just
Yeah, you're shooting. It's quiet. You just got people there with cameras. It's probably like 10 people.
Yeah.
And nobody on the backside. It's like being at AEW on the hard cam side. Sorry, I had to get that one in.
Had to get him. But it's kind of weird. But, man, just to see, like, he doesn't even have to jump high to get to the rim. It's ridiculous. But a lot of people are just asking about his hype. And I'm all for it. I think this dude's going to be something special.
One of my coworkers was saying, he says, but is he going to work with Pop? Is his style of play and Pop's style of play gonna clash? Because, Pop's very old school, and considering how young Victor is there going to be like a disconnect there at some point?
Yeah, that's like the underlying.
Yeah,
like he's bringing it up, but a lot of people are not bringing that up right now.
Yeah,
yeah, and then I don't know. I think he might be humble at first. Like, all right, I'm working with Greg Popovich, 5-time champion, whatnot. This is an opportunity for me to grow, right? But I think as long as he doesn't have the wrong people in his ear, I think he'll be fine. Yeah. I don't go to that. I think he's in the perfect organization, though.
Yeah, because
start his career off.
I mean, he's definitely going to have that discipline there, and they're going to be like, hey, this is the standard. This is what it is. And, of course, you got Tim Duncan there.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, man, come here. Let me tell you where you're messing up.
Right. Because he's not going to be –
yeah.
He's not going to shy away about it.
No.
Which is good. But the ball handling skills, the only thing that concerns me is
the shooting.
Yeah, the shooting. The durability, though, like as far as like playing an 82-game season.
Yeah.
Look at what was it, Chet Holmgren last offseason, towards ACL, playing in a damn pickup game. Like that's what worries me is the fragile, being fragile.
Yeah. Well, it's just like the same as a college football player going to the NFL, going from 13 games to now you're playing 17 now. And then if you make the playoffs, you're playing, another 4?
Yeah,
4,
21 games total.
Yeah, like 4, maybe 5 games.
Yeah. But that's what just concerns me is the injury. I think he's going to be a big success internationally, obviously. He's going to be a big success. But with the ratings, how high they were, there's something behind that. Which is good. The NBA is always going to have a star to fall back on.
Well, I think, too, coming off of how good those playoffs were, minus the finals themselves, but how good those games were, the whole playoff run, even though it did kind of taper out there in the conference finals, and then the finals themselves, it were just kind of,
Yeah.
But everything leading up to that point was great.
Oh, yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to bring up. So we're talking about this. 4 of the top 5 picks this season were non-NCAA players.
NCAA's dead.
Yeah. So you have, Wemby comes from France, right? Then you had Brandon Miller, number 2 from Alabama. That's another story within itself.
Drug test him.
Oh my gosh, dude. You talk about, man, literally.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll get into that after you finish your top 5.
And then you got the Blazers, got Scoot Anderson from the G League. Then the Thompson brothers, both from Overtime Elite. But, yeah, I mean, it's back, 15, 20 years? You probably had that one high school phenom like LeBron, right? And then you had a player from Duke, player from North Carolina, Michigan, or whatever there is.
And then you had that one international guy every other year, every couple of years, you'd have an international guy come over with all this hype that would get picked somewhere in the top 5 to, at worst, they'd fall out of the top 5 and go in the top 10.
Yeah.
Now it's like, it's all there is now, it seems like.
Yeah.
It's like nobody wants to, well, I mean, guess now with NIL.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys are like, hey, man, I may not even make the team next year. I'm just going to stay here and get paid.
Yeah. And so it's different now. We talked about Brandon Miller. So with Brandon Miller, the whole story with him is basically a teammate of his killed, it was his ex-girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
But it was using Brandon Miller's gun. He was like, here you go, bro. I'm like, no questions asked. Here's my gun. Got him. Yeah, okay, we understand. He's the one that did not commit the crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his weapon and everything. But you talk about
stupidity,
and as of right now, he's not in trouble.
Yeah.
So, like, dude, keep your head above water. Walk the straight line. Like, everyone, I think people are zeroing into you because of what happened. especially with the whole John Morant situation going on right now. But like we were talking to right before him came on the air, is like if you're a GM in the NBA, if you got a kid coming out of high school, you want to more entice them to join a G League because you're pretty much showing them, hey, guys, this is the NBA way. We're going to teach you how to manage your money. We're going to teach you, you know, structure and all this and that. So a couple of years, you'll be eligible for the NBA draft, and bam, you're right in.
Yeah, I mean, usually with college football, it's, you know, they don't have that problem because it's you got to go through college, you got to play 3 years, and then by then you've already got that discipline. And if you don't, you get drafted. Hey, they cut you right out the gate.
Right.
And I think they're a little more. You know what? This guy's not worth the trouble, because at this point you're on a rookie contract. You're cheap. They can get rid of you. They've got a set amount they can pay you. The NBA. You know, I mean, yeah, they've got that cap, but I think their rookie salary is probably higher than, say, the NFL's rookie salary.
Yeah.
And, you know, in baseball, obviously you don't have that. You know, kids come straight out of high school. Some of them probably don't even finish high school.
Right.
And they're playing in the majors or, you know, the minors, but they got to work their way up. I don't know.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different. I mean, you got guys in the NBA, you know, young guys that played, 1 or 2 years in college, and their maturity level ain't where it needs to be
at all.
I mean, and not so much on the court. On the court, they're fine if they ever get there. In Zion's case.
That guy. Like, man, that guy, my gosh, it's one thing after another. He was supposed to be this phenom, the next, not even LeBron, just, you know, taking this whole superstar level.
He was bringing the big man back.
Yeah.
The traditional big man, Shaq, Charles Barkley style.
Sean Kemp.
Yeah.
All that stuff. And then just blows out his shoe, right? That was like the first red flag for some reason. And then
didn't he get Nike, or didn't he sue Nike after that?
Because that was a big deal. Yeah. It was like the opening minute of the game. You had everybody there watching.
But he was already hurt, wasn't he? He had sprained his ankle or something like that, and it was like his first game back. And
you had Obama in the crowd. You had everybody there watching that game, and then that happens, and Nike's like, oh, man.
Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, people were freaking out.
Yeah.
It was funny. I remember that.
You had that happen, and then he gets drafted. Great story, right? And then it's the weight problem. You know what I mean? Like, oh, my God, he's not in shape. He's already getting hurt. He gets in shape. Great. He played. When he plays, I mean,
he's fantastic.
He's great. It's just that consistency. And then, you know, this year, hurt again. You find out he's banging porn stars. Like, dude.
Yeah. It's like, hey, man, by all means, do your thing.
Yeah.
Do your thing, but show up on the court. You know
show up on the court and don't look like a little bitch.
Well, don't get hurt trying moves you ain't supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
You ain't a professional.
No. And she put him on blast and everything.
Oh, bro, she roasted him, bro. It was bad. She got herself banned from Twitter.
Yeah.
For threatening to release their sex tape.
And me on the human side of it, yeah, he's a professional athlete. You know, everyone's always they got all this money, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But you have to look at their humans, right?
Yeah.
So me on the human side, I kind of feel bad for him because he looks like a good guy, like a legit, straight up good guy that's, you know, about his business. But it's like, man, he's got all this, like he doesn't know what to do with the fame, with the money. It's one of those, you know, sad stories of what happens to a lot of athletes.
Yeah. Especially somebody who's not used to coming with all that money, all that attention, all these options, opportunities, and stuff like that. And now he's just like, well, I'm just going to enjoy what I can right now because who knows if it's going to be here. Especially, I'm sure that's playing into his head, especially considering how much he's been injured. He's just like, yeah, I don't know how much more time I got left in the sun, so let's just go ahead and knock these bucket list things off.
You knocked one off for sure.
Too well.
Yeah.
She got her name or his name tattooed on her face.
He's what, 25?
I don't even think he's that old. I think he's like 23.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
he's like 23 or 24 because him and Morant are the same age.
Yeah, well, John Morant, no man, he's got the wrong people in his ear, I believe.
Yeah, that one he just wants to be a thug and he ain't a thug.
Yeah, just
it's like, bro, you grew up in the suburbs, you ain't grow up in the hood.
Yeah, like he has potential to be that next star as well.
Yeah,
and when he's on the court, my gosh, same thing.
I mean, you worry about him getting hurt just the way he throws his body around. It's like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
It's preseason.
You know, that's how AI was, too.
Yeah.
Iverson's the same way, you know, on the court.
I'm talking about practice.
Yeah, practice.
Not a game. Not a game. Talking about practice.
But it's just, and that just goes back to these NBA general managers, except if you're the Hornets because you got Brandon Miller. But you look at the other general managers, you know, it's like I'd rather get a player from the G League who we've seen for a couple of years, how they handle.
Yeah. But also it's harder, I think, as the draft, as those first and second round draft picks, you're expected to make the team.
Mm-hmm.
If they're willing to pick you that high, if you don't showcase it, they're like, we just wasted a pick. Are we really just going to send him to the G League? Is he really not ready?
Right.
And we got to sit here and wait another 2 years before we see if this pick was even worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, they may just say, you know what, screw it. Send him somewhere else.
Yeah. And just not watching, but just looking at the draft results, reading all the information on the players, like the Thompson brothers, right, that went to the Rockets and Pistons. Scoot Anderson, I heard, is supposed to be a big deal. They said this is a solid draft, and they said next year's draft is supposed to be even better. So you see the turning for the NBA as far as the star power obviously is changing, right? I'm going to vow to try to watch more NBA this coming season just to see. I like to see the new hype, like the new players, you know, and see how they play and versus the old, like, we'll get into it in a minute. Like the whole Chris Paul's and all, like, Chris Paul to the Warriors, dude. So what?
I do feel like this offseason has been very NFL-esque, where there's like so many moves, so many trades, and so much speculation. People not re-signing, breaking up of a dynasty and things like that. I feel like that's kind of more of a thing this season than it has been in years past.
Yeah, and what gets me, and I bring up Chris Paul because obviously
ring chasing.
Yeah, in his prime, great.
Yeah,
great player. I love watching Chris Paul play back at Wake Forest too. But now it's like, okay, okay, cool. Like, can we just let it go? Like, they're getting older now.
Yeah, but I mean, if I don't know, thought I saw something last night that said, of course, granted, given the source, it was Nick Wright, so that's why I don't really put 100% stock into it. It says that Draymond is going to sign with the Kings.
For what, though? You know,
he's just going to move upstate.
I mean, so from a standpoint of running a team, if you're a GM, that would make sense for Sacramento because they need a defender. They got scores and everything. You look at Dallas as well.
Dallas
they need
needs
a defender.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I don't think he will because I don't think they'll pay him as much as he thinks he's worth.
Well, I think that's what when he declined that option, I think Golden State's just like, okay, well, go see what you're worth and then come back and
he'll
talk.
Sign with Golden State.
I think he will. I'd be shocked if he signs like a 2-year deal and at the trade deadline Golden State trades for him, especially if the other team that he's on is terrible. He'd probably be like, hey, Steve, remember me?
I was just playing. Yeah. But now that I think about it, Chris Paul, I'm going to go back on my word. Talk about if you're running a team. The Warriors are not getting any younger, so they really can't play that up and down as much as they used to. So maybe Chris Paul will be the one to slow it down.
Yeah.
But is that really their style, even though they're getting up in age?
Well, think of it this way, too. They've got one more year left of the Splash Brothers, at least. And it looks like Clay's willing to just get out, go try somewhere else, get another big contract. Steph is going to be there for the rest of his career. Yeah. Steph ain't leaving. No. They ain't letting Steph leave. But, he does have his bouts. He's getting older where he's not healthy, He's
getting older in basketball terms.
Yeah.
He's our age.
He's our age, and he looks younger than us.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot younger than us, but still, it's – I don't know. I think depending on – well, and then they shipped Jordan Poole out. I just forgot about that.
Yeah.
They shipped him out. So they really just said, you know what? Draymond, come on back after you go flirt with everybody. Go check out all the hot new girls at the bar and come back. Come back home when you realize you ain't worth that. You ain't worth,
Yeah, he's not getting any younger either.
Yeah. Well, considering he's going to get, thrown out of games, stomping on people, getting texts. He's going to be suspended for a few games. So,
the last one I want to bring up before we move on, Damian Lillard, talks of him in Portland. I think they're talking yesterday, Monday, as of this recording, about potentially parting ways. Now, if I'm Damian Lillard, man, I've done everything I could do. I gave you my heart and soul. Please just go ahead and just release me. Let's just go out,
Let me go pick where I want to go.
Yeah.
Especially if you like, man, we're not getting our worth.
Mm-hmm.
Cut me.
Yeah. He's 32 years old, but, man, he's probably feeling like he's 40.
Yeah.
Just all the stuff that he's been through at Portland, being the guy.
And he's Batman with no Robin.
Yeah.
So he's like.
Even when he had his Robin, he was still putting double work.
Robin was still in diapers.
Yeah. So a lot of talks has been potentially Miami being a team that would be suited for him, which I think would be awesome.
Yeah.
Him and Jimmy Butler. I mean, that'll take the load off both of them. And then you have a young core there as well. So I just hope for his sake, just get him out of Portland.
Yeah. I mean, he's been tied to Miami, the Lakers.
Oh, gosh.
What was the other? He was tied to one other team, but it was mostly the Lakers and the Heat were the main two. But there was a third, like, dark horse team. I can't remember who it was at the time. But
yeah, he just needs to get out.
I think depending what cool those rumors off is where Kyrie goes. If he re-signs with Dallas, I think then it heats up a little bit more with the Lakers and between the Lakers and the Heat. Mm-hmm. But as long as Kyrie doesn't make a move, I think it's looking more and more likely that he's just going to go to the Heat.
Hopefully.
Because I don't think the Lakers will be willing to offer up a whole lot. Missing out like, man, you still can maybe land Kyrie. Let's not do this. Let's hold off.
But even then, if I was running a team, I would stay away from all these like big star players. I would just let it go, especially if they're past 30 years old or something. I was like, man, let's just move on. Look at the Nuggets. Perfect example. You got a great core of a team there.
What a parade. Joker's just messed up beyond. Oh, this is pretty cool right now.
I stayed.
I know I said I wanted to go home, but I changed my mind.
You talk about somebody that looks like us, who's freaking just balling out.
Hey, he's like all three of us if we sitting on each other's shoulders.
I mean, I think we're more athletic than him.
Probably.
But dude gets it done.
He just stand there.
Yeah.
He's like a wider and bigger Boban.
Yeah.
You still can't barely understand him, but
dude can play.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna try to watch some more NBA, and when possible, like you say, you can't watch it like you used to regional, Fox Sports Southwest, and all these other stuff.
Yeah, they make it impossible.
Yeah,
stupid Bally Sports,
big time. So we do, like we said, got some football news, documentary wise. It says Swamp Kings. I think it's slated August 23rd to come out on Netflix. It's going to follow the Florida Gators. Was it 2006? 2009, I believe. 2006, 2018.
Yeah, 2000. I think it's 2006, 2009 to Tebow's last year.
Yeah. So, yeah, August 23rd. It's supposed to come out on Netflix. This better be a damn 7-part series.
Yeah.
Not just one episode, because this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, you can't cram that into like 2 hours or 3 hours.
No.
This has got to be, like you said, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours.
Yeah, because if you go through individually 2006, that has to be at least 3 shows. And then especially the height of Aaron Hernandez, that has to be a damn season of itself.
Yeah, right. Watch it be like 12 episodes, 30 minutes. It's like, damn it.
But what's interesting about this to me is you pick Florida for the obvious reasons. You have, and I'm not saying this to be funny either. Just being honest. You have a legit murderer and a legit follower of Jesus Christ. And then you have Urban Meyer. Yeah. So,
a frequenter of the grindhouse.
Yeah. Like, you can't even categorize who he is.
Yeah. That team was just a mixture of what the fuck is this?
When you think about it now, yeah. Because back then, I mean, that's a hell of a team.
Percy Harvin didn't know where he was half the time with his headaches and migraines and all that.
Yeah.
You got, like you said, you got Tebow.
You got Major Wright.
Yeah.
Brandon Spikes.
It was Takeo Spikes, right?
This is Brandon Spikes.
Oh, Brandon Spikes.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking Taquito Spikes? Yeah, Brandon Spikes. Yeah.
Yeah, Percy Harvin, Jeff Demps, Chris Rainey. I mean, you had a solid ass team back then.
So I'm trying to remember. It was 2006. The 2016 was Tebow's freshman year. Mm-hmm. Chris Leak was the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you had Chris. That was the year they won their first national title against Ohio State, I believe.
Yes.
And then did they win? Did they go back to back or no?
They won it against Oklahoma in 08-09 season.
Yeah, I think it was 08 because 09 they didn't. They made a BCS game.
Bama
beat them, and Tebow was crying on the end of the game. So
they beat Oklahoma, but that team was loaded.
Yeah, and to think Cam Newton was there at some point.
That's the other crazy thing.
Yeah.
Like, he was there in the mix as well.
He's like, was it 2007, 8? 2007, 2008 that he was there, got kicked off or got kicked out of Florida.
Out of all the people on that roster, Cam Newton got kicked off.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
He was the only one that got caught doing something. That's what it was. Well,
he was probably the scapegoat.
Yeah.
For stuff to come later on.
Well, they knew they couldn't bench Jesus Christ's nephew, so.
Oh, no, I can't do that.
Yeah, they were like, sorry, Cam, you got to go. You ain't playing. You got to go.
Yeah. He was taking notes on what not to do, and they got him out of there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that just shows how crazy loaded that team was.
It's ridiculous when you think about all the talent on that team. If you think about all the talent in college football, period, at that time, but that team specifically and how good that team was and how, my God, they've fallen since then.
Yeah, they cannot go back to that.
No.
You look at, it's like Florida State, Miami,
Yeah, they've tried. They've had opportunities, but have never gotten there.
It just shows how it's shifted so much.
Yeah.
The parity's like
we've been saying, on prior shows, the Blue Bloods ain't quite the Blue Bloods anymore. These newer crop of old school, coming back with Alabama taking the reins. Now you've got Georgia taking the reins. Really, that's the main ones that got like a stranglehold on at the SEC itself.
Pretty much. You got people trying to, say USC.
I mean, USC was a thing for a couple years?
Yeah. But
like three years with Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush.
Yeah, and that dominant defense they had.
Yeah.
But now it's like, nah, it's not happening. Nebraska.
Stop trying to make USC a thing.
Exactly.
It's never going to happen again. Stupid Caleb Williams.
Nebraska, Michigan. I mean, you got all these teams. It's a lot, but they're just not the same anymore.
Yeah.
It's dead. It's like the brands are still
living off the prior success.
Yeah, they're relevant to the media and everything like that. But other than that, it's like, no.
It's like the Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. I wear it out and proud. What are you expecting from this documentary?
I hope they at least go into more like the contrast between the top of the roster as far as like Tebow, as far as he's on one end. I was going to say one end of the spectrum, but that was going to make it sound like he was retarded or something.
Yeah.
Or autistic or something. But, yeah, so we've got Tebow on one end, and then you've got kind of that gray area in the middle, with Urban Meyer kind of swaying both sides, probably more to, towards the not-so-Christian-like side. And then you've got, obviously, Aaron Hernandez all the way at the opposite end.
Yeah.
Probably when he was fake gangbanging and stuff like that, and, carrying guns, thinking he was in the hood. Because
this is where the headache started, right, for Urban Meyer.
Well, I guess if you had to deal with a killer every day.
Man, yeah.
I wonder if Aaron Hernandez ever threatened Urban Meyer.
I wouldn't put it past Urban Meyer to say something like that on the documentary and start crying, and then they have to cut it off for like 10 seconds.
And that's where it started.
Yeah.
What was his name again?
No, I think they're going to be very, very careful on what they say.
Yeah. But then again, I think they might try to stray away from so much of what ends up happening with Aaron Hernandez. Just kind of try to say, okay, this is kind of where it started and where you could kind of notice something maybe was starting to go off the rails. But I don't think they'll fully go into what ended up happening.
Yeah.
I think it's just because it's like it's already been done.
Because they know that everyone wants to know what's going on in college with him.
Yeah.
They know that's going to be like the meat and potatoes of this documentary. We'll give a damn about your national championship.
Yeah.
We'll give a damn about how you had the fastest team in the nation. We'll give a damn about your headaches. We want to know about.
We want to know if you were kicking players then.
Yeah.
When your headache started, and did Aaron Hernandez kill somebody there at Florida?
Yeah. That's all they want to know.
Did he shank somebody? Did he shoot him? Did he hire somebody to do it? When did he get his first tattoo?
Yeah. Were you enabling this problem? So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait for it to come out. And I hope it I haven't seen a real lot of hype on it, but I hope it creates some conversation.
Yeah. I mean, that's perfect timing, too, to come out right there at the end of August, right before college football season starts.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah. It's like they've done this thing before.
Right. Is this a recruiting pitch?
Yeah. Come to Florida.
Yeah, come do it. Come to Florida.
I promise we're not this bad anymore.
That's what we used to be.
Yeah.
What we are now. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens there. I don't know. I don't know.
I hope it's good. I hope it's not one of those just a cash grab, which I'm afraid that it is going to be a cash grab.
Yeah, because I feel like it's going to be legit, just one episode, and that's it.
Or I think it's just going to be stuff you've heard before, and they're not going to really bring up a whole lot of stuff that's new. Like I said, I think it's going to be focused on Tebow, Urban, and Aaron Hernandez, but it's going to be nothing outside of what we've already seen. Mm-hmm. That's my fear, is that it's not going to be worth watching.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. August 23rd is when it's set to come out, so very excited to see that and see what happens. Man, let's talk about a little bit of baseball. Got the cap on right now.
Yep.
Texas Rangers. Like I said before, do not come at us if they start having a major losing streak now. They're 47-31, my bad.
So it's what I've said. I've been saying since, we got on this hot streak. It's like, if you ask me how I feel right now, my answer's always been wait till after the All-Star break. Let's wait till after the All-Star break, like 2 weeks after the All-Star break. If we're still on this path that we're on right now, if we're still playing the way we are right now, then I feel really good going into August and September. But until then, don't ask me. I'm pessimistic at best.
You sound like maybe the Dallas Cowboys every year. Ask me in the offseason.
Right. I mean, I'm just at this point, I'm like, dude, I'm genuinely concerned that we're going to do something absolutely stupid, trade one of our better players. But, I mean, John Daniels is gone, so that's what kind of like, well, he's not going to trade our best pitcher.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he's Tommy John, so
yeah.
We can do that trade now.
It's fine.
Right? But, yeah, it's like we've got a pretty good lineup up and down as far as batting, and then we've got our starting pitching is good, which you do not hear from a Texas Ranger team. Years. Maybe even ever.
Yeah.
Except for the 2 years we went to the World Series.
Right.
But our problem, as it's always been, is bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
Our bullpen is absolutely awful. Once the starter leaves the game, if it's a 1 to 2 run game, I'm puckered shut.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I'm just like that tightly wound where it's like, just throws the first pitch over to get a strike. I'm like, here it comes. Here comes the home run.
He's not a reliever. He's a stressor.
Yeah.
Don't call him relievers. They're stressors.
Exactly. So I'm just like, what was it? The other day, they were playing Toronto. They were up by 1. No, we were up 2. We were up 2. Going to the 8th and 9th, we give up a run to make it a 1-run game, and I'm like, the whole time I'm like, like this is terrible. This is killing me. I didn't want to watch, but I was like, if I don't watch, something's going to happen. And luckily, we shut them down. But still, I was like, man, this bullpen scares the crap out of me. Really does.
Yeah. So if anything, if they do make a deal, right, you would think hopefully for some good relief.
Yeah.
But then it's like just roll with it.
Like a relief or another starter that can take you deeper into games, because at this point it's like, if we go out in the 6th or 7th inning, if the starter leaves in the 6th or 7th, it's like, ooh, that's way too much time for the bullpen to blow the game.
Yeah.
It's like I wouldn't feel safe with like a 15-run lead, or if I'm like the Angels and we're up 20-0, I would not feel safe once the bullpen decided to come in. I'd be like, well,
here we go.
Be the first team to blow a 20-run lead. But yeah, I'm a little more optimistic, but I'm also still waiting to say I'm confident in where this team is right now.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm glad because now we've got 5 potential All-Stars on the ballot: Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Adolis Garcia, Jonah Heim, and Josh Young. So it's like all these guys are playing great right now, but it's like pitching.
That's it. The most important.
Yeah.
The most important aspect of baseball, pitching, and then hitting.
Yeah. I mean, pitching's always been our Achilles heel. It's just forever ingrained in the culture of the Texas Rangers is just the pitching.
It doesn't matter who's involved decision making. Hey, yeah, remember, pitching, got to keep it to a minimum.
It's like, want to get great pitchers, but I don't have a whole lot of money. What do we got?
Everything but pitching.
Yeah.
That's good. 47-31, top of the AL West right now. Obviously, the Rays got the best record in the league, right? Yeah.
Yeah, in the league.
So,
yeah, they got the best record overall in the league with the Braves. 6 games behind? No, 3 games behind them. 3 games behind them. So, but Texas right now is on a bad stretch. I mean, we're not playing that good. I mean, we lost a tough series against the Yankees this weekend. We lose Friday night, win Saturday, and then lose in the 9th. Was it the 9th? Had to have been the 9th on Sunday. It's like the 8th or 9th we lost. It's like, damn.
Like I say, the bullpen.
Yeah.
We lose to the Tigers last night.
Terrible. I almost don't want to go to work today just because if our regional calls, he's probably going to say, hey, let me talk to so-and-so, talk to me and our manager and just be like, guys, what happened? Don't want to hear it.
Don't want to hear this.
Don't want to hear it, Luke. Don't want to hear it. But, I mean, I think baseball has been pretty fun this year. You got the Rays who are playing really good. And you've got a change as far as in the NL. Like, you've got the teams that have been notoriously bad kind of in the mix this year. I mean, who would have thought that the Reds were going to be any good?
Right.
I think the Rangers are looking to trade the Pirates for Andrew McCutchen. I can never say his name.
McCutchen?
Yeah.
Like, the Diamondbacks are top of the NL West.
Yeah. I mean, I think they were almost last year. I think they were in last place, if not for the Rockies.
You got the Cardinals in last place in the NL Central.
Yeah, who would have seen that coming?
The Nationals.
Yeah.
The Mets. Even the Mets.
The Mets just
the Mets.
The Mets are like the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
They overspend and get nowhere
at all. They had a good run last year, and it's like, oh, here we go. And then it's like,
yeah. I mean, what was it? The Mets got to the World Series, what was it, like 5-6 years ago against, I think it was the Royals.
Yeah, I think so.
When the Royals were, maybe it was who it was. So I remember they had went out and spent money for Curtis Granderson for him to switch from the Bronx over to Queens. So I mean, I think they paid like Curtis Granderson like almost $280 million for like 7 years or something like that. They overpaid for Robinson Cano, who they finally, I think,
oh my gosh,
got out of that contract. Or he finally just retired, one of the two. And so now they're paying Francisco Lindor, who has not proven he's worth that money. They spent I think majority of their payroll is spent between 2 players, Scherzer, Verlander. I think it's $150 million a season.
Yeah, Verlander got that off just his name. That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean, he's been awful. It's like now you realize why Houston was like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and take him.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, we're convinced you're done.
Like, wait. Yeah, that's another thing that I say I have a problem with is some sports. It's like, oh, there's Jason Verlander,
Yeah.
Okay. It's not him of 15 years ago.
Right? It's like, bro, he's like 40.
Yeah. He's a pitcher.
Yeah.
Sure, he's worn out.
Yeah. It's like, no. It's like, bro, he's got no motivation. He's got his championships.
Yeah.
He's got the girl. He don't care. He's living life good.
He shows he cares on TV, but other day he's like, whatever. Where we going tonight?
He just pulls out his phone, checks his statements. Yeah, I'm good.
Be like, oh man, let me see. All right, we're good.
Yeah,
All right,
we're good.
We're going to eat.
Yeah.
Good or what?
What was the box score? I don't give a shit.
You gotta do the interview. Oh yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah, I don't know. I just can't do this no more. So frustrated. We want to win.
Yeah.
All right, we're good. Walk off.
He's like Brock Lesnar, you know. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna drink a Coors Light because Bud Light won't pay me. Get on top of my wife.
And repeat.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Texas, like I said, hopefully they continue this run. Like I said, the All-Star break after that is where, the bread and butter comes because, man, after that, August, September, and then October comes.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's been pretty wild season. The A's are getting moved to Vegas.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. They need, my God, that's horrible.
Have you seen the designs for the new stadium that they're planning on building out there?
Look pretty nice.
It's supposed to look pretty cool. So it's supposed to be like a half enclosed, half open. Like the outfield's going to be open, which I'm like, that's stupid. Like you're in Las Vegas during the summer. You should have an indoor stadium.
No questions asked.
Yeah. It's like if you were going to have like it open, cover the outfield, and then just kind of have it like a SoFi, but just don't put glass on that end. Like that's what I would do, but they've got it like from home plate to about halfway through the infield. They've got that covered, and then the outfield is going to be looking the MGM Grand.
Nice.
So you'll get to see the whole Vegas Strip from the infield
cool.
looking out.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
but about time to get out, man. It's just ridiculous.
They've been in that stadium for what? Since the 70s?
I'm about to say, yeah, we weren't even born yet. How long they've been in that stadium, and they haven't done nothing to that stadium.
Yeah, they're like, oh, just fix the bathrooms, I guess.
Man,
I mean, it was impressive back in the day,
right.
But when you look at it now, it's like, this is a piece of crap.
It's a dump.
It's that reel or that TikTok that's going around of Joe Pesci walking out. What the f is this piece of?
Like, if we had the money and if we had the time, I would like to just go and just walk that stadium and just look at it.
I mean, that's why Oakland just said, or the Raiders just said, we're getting the hell out of here. Screw this. We're not sticking around. You don't want to spend no money. We're out.
It's done.
Yeah. So good for the A's to get out. I'm glad they're terrible, by the way. But
20-60 right now.
Yeah, they're awful. They were at one point. They only had 10 wins, so they've been on a little bit of a hot streak for them.
Yeah, for them, for real. But, man, you talk about the lineage of the A's, right? Mark McGwire, Jason Giambi, freaking
Reggie Jackson.
And you had
Ricky Henderson.
Man, Ricky Henderson, man.
Dennis Eckersley.
Yes, that old sidearm pitcher.
Yes.
Beast.
My dad used to be a huge Oakland A's fan. I looked at him when he told me, since he's told me that, I'll go, disappointed in you.
Like, why?
He was like, well, because my dad went to Moody. He's like, well, it was the same colors, so the hat matched. He goes, so it was cool. I'm like, whatever, dude.
But yeah, man. So it's good they're getting out. It's just been a dump. They haven't really paid attention to that franchise at all.
Yeah, even when they've been good, they just and they're notoriously cheap.
Mm-hmm.
They're worse than us.
Yeah,
at being cheap.
Yeah, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
Like growing up, I was always the Rangers and the Braves fan.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, TBS.
Yeah, it's like whatever teams were on TV, I watched. So, that's why I kind of like Houston back in the day with Biggio and Bagwell, Ken Caminetti, Moises Alou, Clemens, I think, was there.
Who was the other B?
Biggio,
Bagwell, and there was another one, wasn't there?
It was the Killer Bees. Who was the other one?
So I know Berkman got there later on.
Yeah, Lance Berkman got there towards the end. I can't remember. All I could remember was
it just Biggio and Bagwell?
It might have just been Biggio because they were first and second.
That's right. You have Moises Alou.
Moises Alou in left field. Caminetti was the third baseman. I can't remember who the shortstop was. I don't remember who the shortstop was. I know at one point Brad Osmus was the catcher. Yeah. All I remember on the pitching staff was Clemens, but
Yeah,
Pettit came later for like a couple seasons, but
Eddie Pettit.
Randy Johnson was never an Astro. Yeah,
yeah. And then you had the Braves had Fred McGriff,
Chipper Jones, and Andres Galarraga,
Andrew Jones,
who was a beast coming out.
Tom Glavine,
Greg Maddux, John Smoltz.
Yeah. Deion Sanders. I mean, gosh. Kenny Lofton.
I forget that Kenny Lofton played for the Braves.
Terry Pendleton.
Dude, they had so much talent, and it's a shame they only won one title.
Like, that's where my hatred for the Yankees started.
Yeah.
Like,
it was like, what, 3 out of 4 years? It was the Braves and the Yankees in the World Series.
Yes. That's where my hatred started because of that. Like,
and the Braves got swept like 2 out of those 3.
Yeah, that was that was a team right there.
That was a hell of a team, and it wasn't even close. I mean, you had that team was just so deep, but the fact they could never close the deal.
I liked Andres Galarraga, man.
Yeah,
he played for the Rockies, right? At first,
yeah, he played for the Rockies, and the Braves went and got him.
I liked him.
Javi Lopez, that was the catcher.
Javier Lopez.
Yes.
Damn it, man! Wow. Damn. Yeah, that's coming.
What was the Lockhart? What was his name? Keith Lockhart.
Keith Lockhart. Yeah. Man. Yeah, that was a team, dude. That was a team. Sounds like we're like big Braves fans. Like I
like the Braves. I mean, I would always hope it'd be the Braves and the Rangers in the World Series.
Yeah, but the Rangers.
We had Pudge and Juan and Rafael Palmeiro.
Yeah,
team steroids.
That was John Whitland
with his dirty hat.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, Atlanta Braves peaked with John Rocker.
Yeah, Mr. Steroids himself.
I was like, all right, we're about to move on from this team.
Yeah, and then we ended up picking him up.
Exactly.
It's like
come on, man.
That guy.
Yeah,
I'm glad the Yankees fans threw batteries at him.
Yeah. That's something that you don't feel bad about. Like,
no.
You deserved it.
It's F that guy.
Yeah. But, yeah, man, dang, that brought back a lot of memories talking about the Braves roster back then.
I know, man.
And then, like, the Rangers had Mickey Tettleton.
Rusty Greer.
Yes.
Rusty Greer.
Was it Mark McLemore?
Mark McLemore at second. We had, of course, Pudge at first. Or at catcher, we had Will Clark.
Will Clark. He had that weird stance, didn't he?
Yeah, he was a switch hitter.
Yeah. No. Tettleton had the weird stance.
So we had Will Clark. We went through, was it Lee Stevens? Was that his name?
Sounds right.
He was like the sub whenever Clark didn't play. Yeah. Like I said, we had Juan Gonzalez, Palmeiro for a little while. Who played third?
Yeah, that's man.
I'm drawing a blank now. I can't remember who played third.
I don't want to Google it because I feel like we should remember. It was like 96, right? The squad we're talking about.
Like 96, between 96 and 98.
Look it up now.
We had, I said, John Wetland. I remember John Wetland. Kenny Rogers, I think, was on our team.
Ruben Sierra. Bobby Witt.
I forgot Sierra was still there.
Darren Oliver was a good pitcher as well.
Yeah. He made it to our World Series team. That's how long he had been playing.
Dean Palmer.
You know, he finally got himself a ring with the Cardinals.
They did that.
He finally did. It's like, I think it was was it Arthur Rhodes that got himself a ring? One of them getting a ring with the Cardinals or something like that.
Benji Gill.
Oh, man. Forgot about that guy.
Dean Palmer's the one that just threw me off. I forgot about Dean Palmer. Kevin Brown.
Don't remember him.
Man, yeah, these are the 96 roster. My gosh, man. That team in 96 finished 90, 72, and 1.
And we got swept by the Yankees in the wild card round.
And Johnny Oates was the manager. Remember Johnny Oates?
Johnny Oates, the big old mustache.
Man, that's amazing, dude.
Could you imagine the Braves with Bobby Cox and Johnny Oates arguing with the umpire?
No, that umpire would probably be.
Umpire would just be like, you know what? Both of y'all, I don't even want out. You're gone. You're gone. You're gone.
They step right out the dugout. You're gone.
Yeah.
Don't even start it.
I'm bringing you the lineup card. I don't care. You're both gone.
Man, we need to do an episode one day just talking about old school baseball like that. And
that'd be great.
What could have been, especially we're not going to talk about the 2011 season because that's still too fresh,
still too painful. Hurts. I'd rather talk about the 2010, even though we got destroyed in that World Series.
Yeah, I'd rather get destroyed than.
Oh, come!
I was at it. Literally,
stupid Nelson Cruz.
Yeah. Oh man, so yeah, classic, man.
Especially then when we got our third baseball guy in here too.
Yeah,
with Fat Sam.
Fat Sam, man. I don't want to do it when he's here.
Yeah, might bring some more gray hairs out in ourselves talking about old baseball.
So the last 10 minutes, man, we'll spend talking about what we want to do with this show, right? So we talk about the show that we have here that we record every month, and then once football season hits, we be hitting rampantly every week on our YouTube channel talking about college, NFL, and stuff like that. But what we want to do with this show that we record here, like I said in the beginning, is to spotlight athletes in the city, first of all, in the city, right? Get connections there, tell their stories of, what drove them to be, wanting to be, I don't know, a great basketball star, a great football star, a boxer, an MMA fighter. What drove them to be that? Get that spotlight on them, highlight them, because I feel like there's a lot of talent in the area when it comes to sports that, you see a couple of them, right? But then there's some that just come out of nowhere that you don't know that, they're professionally doing things, right? Yeah. So I feel like that's something that we want to spotlight. So tap into us, inyourhousesports@gmail.com, or you can message us on Facebook, In Your House Sports, if you want to tell your story, because we'd be glad to. We joke around, have fun on the show and everything like that, but deep down we're serious. We think this is something important that needs to get brought up, is to tell your story of why you do what you do, what got you interested in doing this, and where we can connect with you, and that way we can share your story out there.
Because there's a lot of kids, man, that have incredible stories. Either it's overcoming a lot,
right,
or just having great work ethic, and all that. So I think kids like that deserve to, especially the ones that aren't getting that coverage or aren't getting that platform.
Yeah, definitely. And not to say, we're not this big news organization and stuff like that, but I just think to be connected through the city and to see things and to, especially with there's a lot of like leagues out there that don't get covered a lot. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think it's important, especially for kids growing up. They're seeing like, hey, there's potential. Hey, I could do this,
Or even guys that are a little bit younger than us or just graduating that are, becoming coaches themselves, and, moving on up, whether they're already head coaches or they're starting out as an assistant or something like that. That's something that I think a lot of people like to hear. Yeah, is that, hey, you put in all this work and hey, it's paying off. This is what I wanted to do. If I couldn't be this, I ended up getting exactly what I wanted off the backside. If I couldn't get objective A, I got objective B. So and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, because I got classmates, man, that are head coaches, that are coaches. That, man, to me, that makes me happy because I remember growing up, we were in school, teenagers being crazy and everything. I seen them excel in sports, and then now seeing them head coaches or assistant coaches, man, that's a big deal. Like, that makes me happy to see that because, man, there's not a lot, of talent that goes out, comes back, and to be giving back to the city or giving back to wherever they graduated from and whatnot. So that's a big deal to me as well to see that. So,
to come back and then try to make it better than it was and when they left.
Right.
So I think that's always pretty cool.
And that's a deep connection I think they would have with, not speaking for them, but just thinking on the outside, the connection they have with players is like, hey, I was here. Look at me now. Yeah. Like, I went through what you're going through, played here, look at me.
Got told this, got told that. And,
I'm about 34, 35 years old. Yeah. You can get to this level. Like, this is just a stepping stone maybe for something in the future, but, you can do it.
Yeah. And even if it's hey, I made this mistake and I made this mistake, but guess what? I learned from it, and this is how I dug myself out of it. Don't do this, don't do that. Right. I think that's another important thing is you got to hear the do's and don'ts.
Exactly. But, I think it's a big deal to us. It's something that we want to do. So hopefully, guys, you can tap into us. Like I say, if you're ever on this show, it's going to be serious. It's not going to be joking about nothing. It's going to be serious about, your story, and your message out that you want to give to, potential teenagers that want to grow, that want to be leaders in the future.
Yeah.
What your message will be to them to do that. Obviously, hard work is going to be the first thing, right?
Yeah.
And staying on the right path. But I think it's important to get that message out. And two, any events that are going on sports-wise, tap into us. We'll promote you guys, especially in the city. Like I said, we got August 26th. It won't be in the city, but we have a boxer, Gabriel Resendez, who will be out boxing. Like I said, I'll post the link to where to watch that fight on the comment section of this video. So things like that, we want to get out as well, because I think it's important for the city to know, like, hey, we got people here that are trying to do things or are doing things to get Waco out there,
out of the negative light.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of gone past a little bit now.
Especially, with the Netflix trying to rehash all the stuff from the 90s. It's like, come on, man. We need something better.
Yeah, leave it alone. Stop.
They weren't even in Waco.
At all.
It was Elmont.
Well, yeah, let's get it out, man. They ain't stop that, man. Rehashing this whole David Koresh thing. But, yeah, that's what we want to do with this show. So, obviously, takes two to tango. We reach out, they reach out, whatever that is. But, yeah, we just want to put a spotlight on the city in the sports world. Because there is a lot, but I think there's some that are still untapped.
Yeah.
That needs to be tapped and shown. So, I don't know. Yeah, I had to get that out. See
Feels
what
good.
we can do. Yeah. But, yeah, like I said, we are on YouTube, In Your House Sports. Once football season starts coming in, we'll have a weekly show on there that we do remotely, talk about the games, talk about all this other stuff. I imagine the next show we do next month here is going to be talking about NFL training camp, college football, the realignment never stops now. So we'll be talking about that.
Be in full swing.
Yeah, and then whatever else happens, I don't know. Hopefully Aaron Rodgers doesn't go psychedelic in New York.
Let's see if he can even get onto the field.
Yeah.
If he doesn't hurt himself again after, doing some ayahuasca. And to hear him justify that.
Yeah.
Threw 48 touchdowns. Guess I'm doing all right.
What? Huh? But Josh Gordon can't smoke weed.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What are we doing? But, yeah, we'll be talking about that. Hard Knocks. So, Hard Knocks is reaching out to the Jets.
The Jets don't want
They
it.
don't want it, which, hey,
Yeah.
don't take it. If I'm you, I won't take it. If I was Hard Knocks, you know where I go to? I would go probably to Miami.
That'd be pretty interesting.
McDaniel.
That would be funny.
That'd be entertaining.
Well, I don't know. They got their hands full now with Tyreek supposedly putting his hands on the guy.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, at least it was a grown man, not a kid this time.
That's true, right? But, yeah, just do it. Let's do Miami. But, yeah, so we'll be doing that. So, In Your House Sports on Facebook, In Your House Sports YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, share, comment, do all that good stuff. Rogue Media Network. Appreciate you guys again. Always been very hospitable to us here. Love recording at this studio. It's awesome. But for Manny D,
Your boy Vasos.
peace out.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.